Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? In a video I made just the other day, I mentioned in passing that when I'm a game master running an RPG, I prefer for the players to refer to their characters as I, rather than saying Cole moves over here, or Jim does this, or whatever it happens to be, or he, or she, or they move over here, or pick this up, and all those kind of things. And I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit and why that is. And I think some of this has to do with the fact that naturally I prefer to say I about my character, and maybe I'm making these videos in reverse order, but I really don't care because I've talked about that other subject a lot, even though I'd like to return to it a little bit. And I believe that a lot of our preferences about, how we like to play are a lot more hardwired than we think they are. I think for many of us, we naturally tend to gravitate towards a certain style or mode of play, regardless of what anybody else taught us, regardless of what the game said. People seem to slip into modes that are very, very comfortable for them. And for me, when I'm running a game, well, let me back up for a second. When I'm playing, it feels very natural for me to say I as the character. Now, when I'm running a game, on the other hand, what I see as I'm looking at the players around the table, virtual or actual table, is I start to no longer see the players. I start to see their characters, superimposed over them. And no, I'm not hallucinating this. And no, their features don't actually change. It's not quite that creepy. But I start to think of them as they're, taking on the personality of that particular character, behaving like that character would, or just, portraying that character in, whatever way they're doing it. I tend to see those characters. And it's very jarring for me for them to then say, Arngrim does this, or, whomever. That's really, really, for me, all of a sudden, it seems as though there's somebody else they're talking about. Who are you talking about? It appears to me, and this is, not talking about the right way to play the game, this is just how I view it naturally. It almost seems to that, me as though they're talking about themselves in the third person, which just seems insane at that exact moment. Because to me, during the game, that player is that character. I don't know why that happens, but it's something that tends to happen to me. And it's something that, because of that, it feels very, very natural for me to hear them say I and to talk about their character in the first person as if they were that character. And it's a little unsettling for me to hear them talk about them in the third person, or to move them around as if they were a token on a board or something like that. I understand that's how some people prefer to play, and it's not something I can't work with, or that, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies and we have to stop, guys. It's just something really interesting I noticed about myself, is that it seems much more congruous for the player to refer to their character as I. What about you? What kind of experience do you have with that? Is that something you can't relate to at all? Is that something that makes sense? Or is there something else that you prefer that the players do? Or that you prefer to do when you're playing? Let me know about it.